Well, hi, I'm Burns Hargis for another edition of Inside OSU, and today we're in beautiful and historic Morrill Hall at our Screen Studies program. This is truly one of the gems of Oklahoma State University, and we wanted to come over here and learn more about it. And with me today is Professor Megan Sutherland, to my left, obviously, and James Cooper, who is a Screen Studies graduate student. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
This is very interesting here in your Screen Studies screening room. Tell us about the program, Megan, just kind of a dime store version.
Well, obviously, we're sitting here filming this for video distribution right now. Right. So part of the basic premise, at the most basic level, the premise of the program is that we live in a culture of images, and an incredibly visual culture. And so what we try to do at both the undergraduate and the graduate level is to give students a critical orientation to thinking about images and thinking about the relation between visual culture and the social and political world.
This program's been quite successful, hasn't it?
It's been really an exciting couple of years.
What makes it different? What makes it special?
Well, one of the real emerging strengths of the Screen Studies program is that we've been able to develop an emphasis in theories of the moving image and theories of the relationship between visual style and aesthetic form and, let's say, social and political questions.
So what would be an example of?
Well, for example, if we can think some about the relationship between the idea of political representation in a democratic society, and the role that the idea of representation plays in governing political choice and
But how does that fit
expression.
then into the film genre?
Well, we actually, in the Screen Studies program, one of the another kind of unique quality of our program is that we've shifted from an emphasis on just film to talking also about television and video, and we work on both commercial and avant-garde media. So actually thinking about the way that television style informs the idea of political representation itself in democracy, that's a question that requires some reflection on the idea of representation itself. So,
right. Now you host a very successful conference annually, do you know?
Yes, the World Picture Conference meets every October, and we bring in scholars from around the world, people as far as Australia, and there is a conversation about some of these same issues, the relationship between different ideas of representation in the social and political and aesthetic worlds.
And you even have a journal.
We have an affiliated journal. It's online. It's called World Picture Journal, and you can find it at worldpicturejournal.com. And we have a range of different works and artistic works as well.
James.
Yes, hi.
You're a second-year graduate student.
That's correct, yeah.
And why did you choose the OSU Screen Studies program?
Oh, you know, having gone to the University of Oklahoma and just driving up an hour up the road and meeting with one of Megan's colleagues, Brian Price, who explained to me exactly what the program was up to and discussing the same things that Megan is talking about, the idea of what representation is on screen, what happens when these images show up on screen and we take that bag of popcorn and we're sitting in that theater in a crowded auditorium, whether it be a summer blockbuster or Academy Award worthy type film. Brian really explained what the program was up to, and
Which was what? What did he explain to you?
He explained to me that it was time to move the conversation past where I think a lot of film scholars were wanting to let it kind of stay at. You know, here's film history, here's Alfred Hitchcock, here's the great master which no one would dispute. But what else is really going on here? What can we say that hasn't been said before? And that's where an intervention at the level of philosophy and theory come in. And when you bring in respected theorists and philosophers, kind of as we do at World Picture, to continue that conversation that we're having, you know, at the level of a text, reading it, and then have them come and say, yeah, that's what I meant, or no, that's not what I meant, and engaging in a conversation.
Well, is this going to make you has this bent on the whole conversation going to make you a better filmmaker? or TV producer or whatever you're going to do?
I think the possibilities at both the undergraduate and graduate level are really quite endless. You could take the things that we discuss in the classroom and outside the classroom and apply them at the level of directing, production design. You could do it at the level of film criticism. I think you could do it returning the favor, paying it forward, right, as a professor.
We're a land-grant university.
Yes.
And one of the critical missions of a land-grant university is to share what we learn from research and education with our state and the world. We kind of do that here as well, don't we?
Absolutely. That's one of the ideals of this university that I really firmly believe in. It's one of the things that I think is really exciting about OSU's growth. And some of the ways we're trying to realize that goal in screen studies include a public screening series that we hold called Exciter Bulb, where we bring...
Now, wait, I want everybody to... that's Exciter, like I'm
bulb.
excited, the Exciter bulb, like a light bulb.
Like a
and
light
that
bulb.
Actually is the bulb inside a camera.
It is actually a part of a movie
That's
camera.
excited.
It's a very enthusiastic bulb. So along with my colleagues Hugh Mannon and Brian Price, I help program a series of screenings, and we meet once a month, and we screen the kinds of avant-garde works that you can't see outside of galleries and museums normally. And normally you have to go to cities to the
bigger.
East Coast or the West Coast to see this kind of really exciting cutting-edge media work.
This screen study program has earned grants, I understand, a very special one recently.
Yes, it's really exciting news. Along with my colleague Brian Price, and Olga Blackledge, who was actually a former Fulbright student here at OSU from Ukraine, from Kharkiv, Ukraine. Together with those colleagues, I made a successful proposal to UNESCO, the cultural arm of the UN, to hold a biannual symposium on media theory and philosophy in the post-Soviet region.
This is really a wonderful program, and let's go to the movies.
All
Sure.
Right. Thanks.
How about some popcorn?
Sounds good.
Honestly, we sent that too.
It's good.
Mm.
Yeah.